on in chat relevant to that. And, they were talking about a team that they were having great activity, and she had just seen them post the dust orbs saying they were having great activity, and they had the orbs circled. Like, I'm sorry. Orbs don't need to be circled because you can see them, Right. And the only person I have ever seen he is a professional photographer. He has done a lot of work in one location in Staten Island in New York. And it's a churchyard, cemetery. And he's the only person whose work has actually given me pause and made me say, you know what? There is something that is trying to, because it's almost like it's communicating with him. Like whatever is there. The orbs actually have shape and repetitive characterizations within them. And he had a stroke, a pretty major stroke, and was gone from doing that for a while. When he came back, they were slow to come out, but they did come to him. And I'm sitting there watching this photo shoot going, I don't get this. I'm a photographer, and I don't get this. This is just bizarre. But
I have to see it.
Well, I did have to see it because there was no way that I was actually believing him until I did. Because I'm not a hard nose about things, but I just know what I experience, and I know how easy it is to create that. But it will. I'll give you his name, and you can look at his page because it's fairly interesting. It blew me away the first time I saw it because I do know how those are created. And then my friends said, well, let's give Orb 101 classes. And I'm like, we would be strung by our toes if we gave Orb 101 classes because they don't take it lightly. But what is something else besides the good working knowledge of how energy affects your body and both coming and going, and how orbs are created? What's something else that you think is imperative to know?
That's what? I missed that question.
What else do you think is an imperative piece of information to take with you on investigations?
Being very, I think the main thing that's very important when people are going out and investigating is do your groundwork first, and don't go into it thinking you're going to solve all the answers in one day because you're not. And be very vigilant and also be very honest. Honesty with yourself is the key thing, and respect everything that's around you. Because if you don't, it will bite you in the ass.
True that. Well, that is I would agree. I think that is the most important. But we have got like 30 seconds until our next break. So I don't really want to go into definitive definitions on what you mean by all of those right now. But I just think that this is such a great conversation. I can't believe how fast this is going. But we are up against our 3-minute break, and I hope everyone enjoys this little bit of fun. And we will be back with more with Chris Maggard. Thanks for joining us here at Fate Radio, and we'll be back in 3.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Welcome back to Fate Radio. I'm Kat Hobson, your host, joined by Christopher Maggard, who has the most exciting film coming out. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to tell you, it is a paranormal film with some horror tossed in and all these good things. And those that know me know that's not really my genre, but this film looks so good that I can't help myself. I'm going to watch it. Maybe behind a pillow, but definitely watching it. So, I know that we were talking about paranormal investigation and such, but this time is going by so fast. We are already at almost 24 after the hour. I would like to get back to more about your film development and production and the different ways and studios that you used with that. And I know that's something that you would want to share too.
Yeah, there was most definitely there's it's a collaboration of quite a few people. When Elaine and I first started this out, we're like, okay, Elaine has never worked in the film industry before, and I have, and it was a whole new world for her, and it was exciting. And now she's the bug bit her, and now it's all about she wants to do another film, and it was exciting, learning new things and techniques and new language, because there's a different language in the film industry. And you would think a clothespin would be called a clothespin, but it's called what, Don? C-47. That's what a clothespin is called. In the film industry is C-47. An extension cord is called a stinger, and there's just so many different things. A tripod is called stick, and it's just a whole different language.
That is.
But it takes a collaboration. We ended up with almost 50 people working on this set, and that's a lot of people, but it's also very small. So, but there was a lot of work, and poor Elena, my wife, she was craft services and wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people pulled double duty jobs. Sean was an actor, but then he also was a PA, and then he was an assistant director, and then I was set designer, director, editor, and so so it was double duty for a lot of us. Even Brian, he got in there and helped as a PA, helping, or as a grip, helping setting up lights and stuff like that. I brought him on to just ask him to do storyboards, and next thing you know, he's helped moving lights around and setting up for the next scene.
Well,
so
but it takes that, right?
Oh yeah, it does take that, and that's where the dedication comes in, and and the collaboration of different companies like Sean's company, Ville TV, and Creepy Attic Productions, which we're under the same hub that Sean created, called Creative Motion Studios, and things are starting to look up. We're getting people are hearing about us and reaching out and want to work with us, and so it's growing, and it's an exciting time, but we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but we don't want to waste too much time either.
Well, of course not. Yeah.
Gotta be equal balance for everybody.
That's just so exciting, and it just kind of grew and expanded on you, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember the first day we were on set of Rosa Leigh, I almost threw up. because my nerves were shot, and I was
Right.
getting ready to say my first action word, and so it was a different. Now I've got that feeling under my belt. Now we know what we want to do in the next film, and that's why we're all collaborating together now on this next film, to where we have everything laid out the way we want it. We're not double dipping. We're not doing. Everybody's not pulling 2 jobs or 3 jobs. Everybody's got one thing to do, and that's it.
They won't know what to do.
What's that?
I said they won't know what to do without having 75 things to do at one time.
Exactly.
But
it's worth it. It's worth it.
I do have one more question for you out of chat that I neglected, and I just was quickly reminded about it as we were moving on. And that is your beard. Do you get your beard tugged? Do you get tugged a lot when you investigate or when you're around spirits?
No, not on my beard, I don't. The only one that tugs my beard, and that's the living, and that's my wife.
Well, I was corrected and reminded I had not asked you that yet. So there you go.
But no, the only time I ever had my beard tugged on an investigation is I got it caught on something. That's about it.
Good to know. So, well, okay, now we can move on. But, we were talking about getting everything to a point where everyone had their job. And everyone was doing just that job. So, that really is going to be epic, because to be able to have that degree of focus could only improve something that's already going great.
Right. And, there's no golden... Well, there is certain steps you take in the film industry, and there's certain rules that you go by. But when it comes to creativity, it's wide open. And as long as, like me as a director, I'm focused on what I need to do, and that's working with the actors and my assistant director, and I can focus on that,